And now, the Rise Above Show, presented by Roofing.com and hosted by Dante.
And we're live. What's up, man?
What's up, bro?
How you doing?
I'm great.
So good to see you, all the way from Maui.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we have with us Ryan Groth, Sales Transformation Group. I'm going to let you introduce yourself, a little bit of your backstory.
Yep.
So go ahead, man. Who are you? What do you do? All that fun stuff.
Yeah, so, firstly, I'm a dad of 4 kids, been married 10 years. My parents had a contracting business. Actually, my mom and stepdad did. My parents came divorced, and then my mom ended up divorcing again. So I've experienced a lot of that. There's other reasons why they did, but, we'll talk about the Rise Above podcast. But, they had a contracting business, and I saw the business, and I was like, this is interesting. And I got excited, entrepreneurially. I was like, there's opportunity here. I can be more successful, make more money. But I wanted to take a stab at baseball. I was a football guy and baseball guy in high school, and baseball was the one I could see myself really playing. So I walked on to Division I school, made the team, got redshirted, and then going to junior college, made that team, got MVP, got drafted twice, and ended up playing D1 ball at Oral Roberts, and then got drafted by the Angels and played minor league baseball with them. And then when baseball was over, I moved to South Florida, connected with a bunch of great network guys, and networked with a bunch of great guys in South Florida. I like to call it the Christian Mafia, like all the Christian business leaders that kind of look out for each other. And I got plugged into that space. Ended up meeting a commercial roofer who built a software program for himself. And when I experienced being in the guts of a $50 million roofing organization with a CRM tool that helped him get there, I started to realize the industry needed a lot of what he had in addition to the software, so I started becoming a coach. Did that for about 4.5 years with him, and then I started STG and really took all that I learned in a more digestible, commercially available platform online, and that's when Sales Transformation Group was birthed. That was coming up on 4 years ago now.
Wow. So talk to me about Sales Transformation Group. I know you guys do a lot of good stuff in the space. So you guys are coaching companies on commercial sales, right?
Yeah, my first product we launched was a B2B sales product, and many commercial roofers bought into it. Many people doing residential wanting to get into commercial sales bought into it. And many people in retail found value in it. But since this year, we've launched a service accelerator, so just service department growth. And now we're launching sales products in residential roofing with insurance, which is door-to-door as well, and then a retail product along with an executive product, just because we want to add more value to our clients in a way that brings more specificity to them. And, based on 500 or so clients we've kind of found what would be most valuable next instead of just running with one product. But that's kind of, Ryan, the coach, is definitely commercial sales, but STG, the platform, is expanding.
Sure. We had you at RoofCon last year. Well, we had you at RoofCon this year also, but last year you gave you gave a keynote that I still to this day think about all the time, where you talked about automating, delegating, and then stepping back. Right? I know that's part of what you talked about, but that was super impactful to me because at the time we were doing so much stuff with, we were a 3-person team at the time. And so for us, I remember coming back from RoofCon and just thinking, all right, how can we start building out the team? How can we start making automations and doing that type of stuff? But I want to hear just a tiny bit about that, just how, because that was something that really stuck out with me, and I'm sure that'll stick with a lot of people, of, the importance of just delegating and automating as much as possible so you can focus on the things that you love and step back from it.
Yeah, like I think when you look at what we're doing, it's not our identity, it's something we're building. So when you look at the thing in which we're building, it's truly should be a vehicle onto something, it isn't you. When people who get too tied up with their identity into what they do, they can't ever change what they do because they find so much value in that, and they won't ever evolve, and they won't ever, it's like, no, dude, like, you're awesome. You're building something that's going to help you do something awesome, right? And so when you start to look at two things, one is we only have so much energy, right? So Diego, you, and me, we only have so much energy. And so what we can do first that adds the most energy in one concentrated direction is elimination, right? So I could tell you, like, you know, I know you're working on getting in shape. I love it, killing it, keep going. But I'm pretty sure if you eliminated all your bad foods and then didn't even work and just train 3 times a day, you'd probably get there a lot faster, right? Just because your energy is going into one concentrated direction. So the first thing everybody should do is eliminate. What's the first thing we can eliminate? And I think that's like, hey, we're doing residential, and now we want to get into siding, but we don't ever really make much money on it, but we still do it. And so I think the first thing that makes your machine like a vehicle to get you where you want to be is by elimination. Plus, it's like, you know, it's just in energy distribution, right? And then the second thing is automating, right? If you find yourself doing the same manual task, and that manual task is something that the business is requiring to do, you have to automate it. For me, people needed a transformation with some sales training and commercial. I was saying the same thing every single time in live form, right? How do I automate that? So I built a really great product, a course product. And then that gave me the ability to step back and focus on coaching and then building a remote team. And then I was like, well, I can't fully close a $10,000 to $30,000 deal on a webinar. That'd be awesome. I don't think I can do that. Maybe that's a limiting belief, but you know, it's not that common. So what I did was I was like, well, I need to delegate sales, right? And then I need to generate leads. Well, I can automate lead gen through advertising with a Facebook platform. Sorry about that. And so when you start to realize like everything you're doing can be leveraged through, A, it can be concentrated, and then B, leveraged through technology, then your last choice should be delegation. And I love people, right? But people are complex, people make mistakes. But you want to find people who can also think like a system as well and do automation and elimination as well. So you want to build an organization where people are able to repeat the tasks that need to be repeated by a human, but you also want to create architects who can do the same thing you did to get started. And that's where your leaders come in. Like, hey, how do I make this more efficient? Hey, how do I eliminate the bad apple from our team so our energy can go in positive direction? So, yeah, that's been AED, EAD, you can call it. I like EAD because elimination should start first. But AED is also like one of those, emergency heart defibrillator things.
Oh, yeah.
It says AED, so it's like, oh, this is how you could, jolt yourself back to life. But yeah, I like eliminate, automate, delegate in that order to help you just kind of process decision making with your business.
Sweet. Well, let's talk a little bit about, we've got the Rise Above show. I want to ask you specifically about situations in your life where you've risen above. So what is something, if you will share an experience with me where you feel like you've had a failure and then you've been able to rise above from that?
There's been a lot of them because I think that's how we get better. I mean, you hear that feedback is a breakfast of champions. I think the ones that really get me are when I'm rejected by people that I was hoping I wouldn't be rejected by. And instead of being mad at them, say, hey, that was gold. Why did you do that? Tell me why. And then when you hear the feedback, and I don't get rejected often. Thankfully, a lot of people find a lot of value, but typically when I've been rejected, it's been 2 or 3 times. It's been by $50+ million organizations. So they're more sophisticated. They maybe have more of a unique desire or need, and the quality of the customer experience needs to be there. So I got rejected by the mentor, the roofing company, who I learned the business with. When I started and built my own program, the content was better than when I was coaching from that place, coaching their sales reps. I was hoping that they would join, and they didn't. And then their sales leader and their VP of business development both told me why, and that was tough. But it actually motivated me it was the straw that broke the camel's back, because I knew my first course had some gaps. It's the first one. It shouldn't be perfect. How can any V1 be perfect, right? Version 1 should always be, needs iteration. And you won't really know if it needs iteration until you put it into practice, into the market, and get feedback, right? And so when I put it out there, and it got beat up a little bit, and it was very successful, but I started to see commonalities. I'm like, okay. Those need to be fixed, made better. that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I was like, all right, man, I'm doing this. So I got some support, and I built the course better, faster, bigger, faster, stronger, way more like tight, and also inclusive of multiple industries, where the first one was a little bit more roofing language heavy. Dude, like that course, still the one we riding on today.
That's awesome.
There's
dude.
no way I would have actually probably done it in that time with that kind of, and then dude, and then we moved to Hawaii, and like that was huge. But anyway, like I don't even, but that was it. Feedback that you kind of hits you deep, and you're like, gosh, that's tough. But when you say no, this is why, and then you learn from it, take action. That is the most valuable thing that you can get when somebody who you want to sell to doesn't buy, and then they tell you why. They're telling you how not only them, but a lot of other people would buy if you fixed it. You just got to be humble enough to take that info.
I hope people are taking notes on this because that's gold right there. For improving anything in their, it could be in their personal lives, in their business, and whatever. Let me ask you specifically about with something that I feel like a lot of people are struggling with is imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've heard that phrase of feeling like the best way I've heard describe it is people feel like they're going to get discovered. People are going to figure out, they're going to figure out I'm not who I say I am or whatever, and I resonate with that a lot. Like I figured, like, why me? Why am I the one, that's seeing any of this level of success with what we're doing, and I think, and from what I've heard, a lot of business owners deal with that also. And so, what would you say to that? I think, to people dealing with that imposter syndrome.
It's the devil. Don't let
And
that
I guess,
get...
do you feel that ever as well?
I think so. Like, I think I've felt that, but like that stuff can't stay long in your brain, bro. You got to get rid of that. No. No, man, you're valuable. You have a purpose. You're supposed to thrive. Thriving's good, I think a lot of people who have been in a low scenario their whole life, like challenging situation, and no money, parents didn't make a lot of money, they can believe that. But you gotta look at yourself and say, look, I don't think I'm better than other people because I'm here. As long as it doesn't get to your head, right? And how are you remaining humble? Well, you give glory to where the glory's due. You focus on your team. You serve people. You're supposed to succeed. This is America. We're in a wonderful industry. There's successful people all around us giving feedback and insights. There's free content, paid content. Don't let that stuff stick in your head, man, because that is the devil. And I'm not trying to over-spiritualize this, but, Diego, you're meant to do amazing things. And, I know the voices of darkness would love to get you to believe you're not worthy of it, and love to get you to believe that you don't deserve it, and love to because then what? It halts you and your destiny and your kids. Everything's jacked when you lose faith and lose confidence in belief. And so I try to I've tried to, over the years, I've just really meditated on, if I had the best dad in the world and he told me, what would he say to me right now? I don't think he'd say, yeah, you're an imposter. What would he say? What would the best dad in the world say? And that's kind of what I like to do whenever I'm feeling certain feelings.
So let me ask you a couple of rapid fire questions. We can get through.
Hopefully I don't cough through them. Goodness.
No, you're good, man. You take some water. We'll be good, man. So we talked a little bit about this today. I want to kind of hear your thoughts on this, of how will you know that you've succeeded in business specifically?
Oh, man. My definition of success is to be faithful to grow everything you've been entrusted. So I think that's an ever-evolving thing, which means I'm not, I'm not sure if I'm ever really successful, because I'm always trying to grow something. But you don't want to go backwards with what you've been given, right? So is it your platform? Is it your audience? Is it your, your money? Is it your employees? Is it your teammates? That to me is success. So your question was, what was it?
How will you know that you've reached success in business?
I think it would be a client results. But if I'm being really honest, I think it's when somebody says your company's so valuable, I want to buy it for this much money, and now I could just be a full-time dad for a couple of years and like give my family some time back, and then from there, give to things I need to give to, and then start to build something again.
All right, next rapid fire question is, what's a book that's changed your life? If you had to put it down on one.
Wow. I'd go Bible. I mean, there's a lot of other ones, but I have to go there. I mean, that one, game changer.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, but
Sure.
If we're gonna put that in that category, I'd say that.
Let me give you top three.
Yeah.
Because we'll put. I agree with you. We'll put Bible number one.
It's up. I mean, it's got to be number one. I'd say, man, there's so many.
Let me give you. We could say like one
I
that's
got one.
personal, one that's helped you on your personal life, one that's helped you on your business.
All right. The one that comes to mind for personal and business, but really got me out of the gate in business, was Essentialism. Have you heard of the book? Essentialism.
I've not. Who's it by?
I'm blanking the author's name. Essentialism.
We can put it in the show notes.
That right there, really good book.
Yeah.
My goodness. Changed the game. I put it in my course. I said, you need to buy this book, and I do some content around it. And then the second book is called Family Revision by Jeremy Pryor, and, that's a book about building a family team. And so I think that book's been really powerful on a personal level to just help me form a family team with a common vision and mission, and we're a team. This isn't the Ryan show, and then they're over here. Like, we're all integrated. Everything's integrated, and so I'm learning how to integrate like my kids into my work, and my, whatever, everything into my work, and my work into everything we do. And I think that's a lot healthier. And so that book is really good if you want to really learn how to take ancient principles of family building in a modern day world, and not let this individualistic kind of emphasis on society destroy the family. That's a big one, and we've seen that. We have 4 kids, man. I mean, we don't want to see kids all over the world living their own lives. We're not connected. Like Lindsay and I both were on the other side of that, so we're kind of like trying to turn the tide. So that book's really helped us.
I'll add that to my reading list. And we'll add it to the show notes as well.
Cool.
So, all right, let me ask you a couple just fun questions here at the end, just to end it up on a light note. So, obviously, we know you're super busy with Sales Transformation Group, but you're living in Hawaii. What are some fun things that you like to do once you go home and you're not thinking about business?
I love to take my boys. We work out together. So we work out in the morning, and they don't know this is crazy, like for their age, but they're 8 and 6, and I get them up at 5, and we work out in the garage from 5 to 6, and I train them, and they love it. So I really enjoy that. I really enjoy taking them to baseball lessons. But we could do that anywhere. What about Hawaii? Well, we love to surf. I'm pretty bad. I'm like a statue. I'm like not very good, but we love to surf, and I'm taking golf lessons, so I want to enjoy. The views are insane there, and trying to get my swing down and enjoy some round of golf. And there's fishing and hunting there too, but I'm not quite making that more routine. You got to own some property, or you got to know people who have leases, like the guides. So we're currently about to like we have deer in our area, so we're going to try to attract the deer. And then when the deer come, we're going to have a bow. We're going to start, living off the land. But we have a garden.
That's awesome, dude.
We had 3. We incubated 6 chicks. 3 survived. And then we had him in the house for like a week and a half, and then we put him outside in the chicken pen, and we have 2 cats. Bro, both of those cats, they freaking stole those chicks, man, and they ate them. So we're trying to get a little barn. We got a bunny, we got a dog. So I just love being with my kids, man. It's a blast. It's a home. Like I would say, every entrepreneur, guys need to make home like special. Like a lot of guys skimp out on home and like don't buy the house. Don't dude, do what the family needs to feel like super loved, super cared for. Get that down. I'm telling you, I'm loving it, and it's a big finish line for many people. Now I'm like looking at the next finish line because it was a big deal to get a good piece of property for the family. We can host people, have all that stuff. We lived in small houses our whole marriage. So
yeah.
All
right, I'm gonna give you the last question because I think this is something that I feel like I don't know, much about this from you. I know I've heard you talk a lot about baseball. Mm-hmm. And so I want to hear a cool baseball story from you because I know specifically from, you played at a professional level.
Yeah.
So I just want to hear a cool story, man. Something that I guess a lot of people may not hear because we're always hearing the business side of you.
Yeah, I mean, baseball is awesome, and I have some crazy ones where I worked out one summer. And got here's a pace. There's a couple. I'll say a couple like in the game and then like on the journey. I remember I was playing college ball. Dude, everybody was juicing, bro. Like everybody. Balcor, like everybody. Sammy Sosa, McGuire, and I just was like, I want to make it to the big leagues, man. Like, and like everybody's jacked, like and I'm like, all right, like I'm 90% sure I'm gonna take some steroids. I said that verbally, and so I saved up like $300 to buy what do they call it, a round or a stack or whatever they call it of Deca. And so I was like, I'm about to get this. And then, I was feeling a little, unsure about it, but I was like, I'm there. And so I went ahead and went to get some Chinese food one day, and I get this fortune cookie, and it says, on the front, it says, use proven methods, avoid shortcuts.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, dang, dude. And then I flip it, and it said, learn Chinese, and the word was baseball. And
wow.
I didn't laminate it, but I had it in my wallet for like 5 years.
That's wild.
And dude, I swear, I went back to the gym, got to GNC, I got like the BSN stuff, the NO Explode, the True Mass, the creatine stuff. And bro, I kid you not, I gained 20 pounds of muscle that summer.
That's wild.
And then I come back, and everyone was like, he started calling me human growth hormone. And it was awesome. It was like, I don't need to do that. And so that was a really big deal because I think I could have cheated, but I didn't. I never cheat anything I do. But yeah, I mean, like I watched Eric Hosmer, big leaguer, strike out 5 times in one game. I got a hit off of Will Smith, the closer of the Braves, who just won the championship. He was on my team, inter-squad. I hit a piss missile up the middle off of his fastball. Yeah, man, it's just been great being in the game. I still look at MLB every day. Now they have the lockout right now, so I'm like, there's nothing new. But
yeah,
I love the game. It's awesome.
That's fun, man. We'll have to sit down and hear some more baseball stories later.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a full episode just on baseball.
Yeah, for sure.
But, man, thank you for being here in Utah with us.
Yeah.
We're having a good time. I know tomorrow you're going to do some training for us.
Yeah.
Hopefully you've been having a good time here with us today.
Yeah, it's awesome. You guys do great stuff here, man. I love Revolt and what you guys are doing. It's really special, and the guys here really, like, they're here for the right reasons. So I'm super glad to be here.
Appreciate it, man. Guys, catch a new episode of the Rise Above Show next week. And Ryan Groth, thank you so much for being here with me today.
Diego.
And we'll see you guys later. Peace.
See ya.